Munger's game theory. Win the unseen power battles. Professionally. You're smart. You work hard. You've honed your skills, climbed the ladder, and played by the rules. Yet despite your talent, despite your effort, you often find yourself baffled. Why do certain colleagues rise faster? Why do irrational decisions dominate professional environments? Why do some people, seemingly less capable, consistently win the critical battles, while your logic and hard work fall short? The brutal truth, as revealed by Charlie Munger, the silent architect behind Berkshire Hathaway's colossal success, is that you're likely playing the wrong game. Or more accurately, you're playing only half the game. You're mastering the visible rules of your profession, while remaining utterly blind to the invisible. Unspoken rules of power, influence, and human psychology that truly dictate who wins and who loses in the corporate jungle, in negotiations, and in the relentless pursuit of professional prosperity. Munger understood this unseen dynamic with chilling clarity. He knew that the world, especially the professional world, isn't a perfectly rational chessboard. It's a complex arena driven by deep-seated human impulses, hidden incentives, and often irrational biases. Ignore these forces at your peril, and you'll forever be a pawn in someone else's game. God. Embrace Munger's ruthless pragmatism, and you'll begin to win the unseen power battles that define true professional success. Today on the Munger Almanac, we rip off the blindfold. We'll expose the foundational principles of Munger's game theory, not the academic kind, but the raw, unvarnished wisdom of understanding human nature to navigate and dominate any professional landscape. If you're ready to stop being puzzled by workplace politics, to cease being a victim of hidden agendas, to start wielding the true levers of professional influence, then prepare yourself, because Charlie Munger's truth is about to change how you see your entire career. The illusion of meritocracy, why your hard work isn't enough? You've been sold a lie. The idea that pure merit, hard work, and technical expertise alone guarantee your ascent. While these are foundational, they are insufficient. Munger understood that life, and especially professional life, is a lollapalooza of interacting forces. Your professional success isn't just about your individual brilliance. It's about how you navigate the intricate web of human psychology, power structures, and the often perverse incentives that shape organizations. Consider the classic tale of Enron. Brilliant minds, cutting-edge financial engineering. Yet, a culture of perverse incentives rewarding short-term gains. Hiding debt, prioritizing appearance over reality, led to its spectacular collapse. This wasn't a failure of intelligence. It was a failure of understanding how human nature, when improperly incentivized, can lead to widespread delusion and systemic rot. Munger saw this pattern everywhere. The brilliant scientist who can't get funding because he lacks political savvy, the innovative idea that dies because it threatens an entrenched department, the ethical decision that gets sidelined because it doesn't meet quarterly targets. This is where Munger's brutal honesty cuts through the noise. He wouldn't just analyze the balance sheet, he'd dissect the incentives of every single player involved. He'd ask, what are they truly optimizing for? What are they rewarded for? What are they punished for? This wasn't cynicism, it was profound realism. The biggest professional blunders, he observed, often stem not from a lack of intelligence, but from a naive misunderstanding of these deeper currents. You might be the best surgeon, but if the hospital's incentive system punishes collaboration, you're fighting an uphill battle. You might have the best product, but if the sales team is incentivized purely on volume, quality might suffer. This leads us to the heart of the unseen power battles. Fought not with data spreadsheets, but with an understanding of human frailties and motivations. Munger believed that if you ignore these, you're not just at a disadvantage. You're fundamentally operating in a fantasy.
Third, incentive-caused bias, both in one's own mind and that of one's trusted advisor, where it creates what economists call agency costs. Here, my early experience was a doctor who sent bushel baskets full of normal gallbladders down to the pathology lab in a leading hospital in Lincoln, Nebraska. And with that quality control for which community hospitals are famous, about 5 years.
Munger's directness on incentives is truly gold. He understood that human behavior, though complex, is largely predictable, if you know what people are truly motivated by. Now let's dissect the fatal flaws that keep you losing these unseen power battles. Fatal flaw. Blind spots in the professional arena. Most professionals suffer from specific blind spots that make them vulnerable in the unseen power battles. 1. The naivety of pure logic, ignoring human irrationality. You're trained to be logical, data-driven. But Munger knew that human beings, even in professional settings, are deeply irrational. They operate on emotions, biases, and ingrained patterns. Leaders protect their ego. Colleagues succumb to social proof. Departments fight turf wars. If you present a perfectly logical argument without accounting for these psychological currents, you will be baffled when your brilliant idea is rejected for what seems like no reason. Ray Dalio, the legendary investor and founder of Bridgewater Associates, built an entire system around understanding radical transparency and believability-weighted decision-making. Precisely because he knew most people and organizations are inherently flawed by ego and bias. Your logical brilliance, unmatched by an understanding of behavioral psychology, becomes a crippling weakness. 2. The good guy trap. Underestimating malice and self-interest. This is perhaps Munger's most brutal insight. While he believed in integrity, he also knew that not everyone operates with the same moral compass. People will act in their own self-interest, sometimes to your detriment, and often rationalize their actions. If you assume everyone in your professional life is a good guy, operating with pure intentions, you will be blindsided. You'll miss the subtle manipulations, the political maneuvering, and the outright unethical behavior that can destroy your career or business venture. Munger, like Warren Buffett, avoided dealings with bad apples at all costs because he understood the immense downside. 3. The incentive blindness. Failing to see the true drivers of behavior. This is the ultimate professional blind spot. Every system, every organization, every role has incentives both stated and unstated. A sales team incentivized purely on volume might sell inferior products. A manager incentivized on cutting costs might neglect long-term innovation. If you don't dissect these incentives, you're operating in the dark. You won't understand why people behave the way they do, and you'll struggle to influence them or predict outcomes. Your inability to see the puppet strings of incentives leaves you dancing to someone else's tune. The cumulative cost of professional blindness when these blind spots converge, the cost to your professional life is devastating. Stagnated career growth. You'll miss opportunities for advancement because you don't understand the unspoken criteria for promotion, or you're outmaneuvered by those who do. Failed projects and ventures. Your logical brilliance will clash with human irrationality, leading to projects that fail not due to technical flaws but human ones. Burnout and frustration. Constantly battling unseen forces leads to immense professional frustration and eventual burnout. As you exhaust yourself fighting a war you don't understand, financial underperformance. Ultimately, these professional failures translate into missed financial opportunities, lower earnings, and a less prosperous career. This precisely is Charlie Munger's brutal truth. The majority unknowingly limits their own professional potential, trapped by an intellectual myopia that guarantees their financial and professional mediocrity. But you don't have to be one of them. Munger's game theory, your blueprint for unseen victory. Munger's antidote to professional blindness is his game theory, a practical, multidisciplinary approach to understanding reality, especially human reality, that allows you to predict, influence, and win the unseen power battles. It's not about being manipulative, but about being realistic, ethical, and strategically effective. This framework leverages its core principles: understanding incentives, mastering cognitive biases, and applying a multidisciplinary lattice work to all problems. Tips from Munger for winning professional games. Become a master of incentives, beyond the obvious. Tip: don't just look at stated salaries or job descriptions. Dig deeper. What are people truly rewarded for? Is it short-term numbers, avoiding blame, pleasing a superior, building a personal empire, or genuine long-term value creation? Munger famously said, "Show me the incentive, and I will show you the outcome." How it helps alleviate, improve. You'll understand why seemingly irrational professional decisions are made. This allows you to better predict behavior, craft more effective proposals, and avoid being blindsided by hidden agendas or perverse organizational dynamics. It shifts you from a naive observer to a strategic player. Master your own biases and exploit others. Tip: learn the major cognitive biases Munger identified. For example, confirmation bias, social proof, consistency bias, authority bias. First, understand how they affect your own judgment. Then, recognize them in others. Use them ethically to persuade or to protect yourself from manipulation. For instance, if you understand social proof, you can subtly show how everyone else is doing it when it's true and beneficial to influence a group decision. How it helps alleviate, improve? You become more rational and resilient in your own decision-making, reducing your exposure to costly professional errors. You also gain a powerful psychological toolkit to understand and navigate the irrationality of others, allowing you to influence outcomes without resorting to brute force or illogical arguments. Cultivate a multidisciplinary latticework for professional judgment. Tip: don't just read business books. Dive into psychology, history, evolutionary biology, physics, and philosophy. Learn the big, fundamental ideas from each. Then consciously force yourself to apply these diverse models to your professional challenges. For example, using a biological model of ecosystems to understand your industry, or a psychological model of scarcity to understand market demand. How it helps alleviate, improve? This is your ultimate weapon against professional blindness. It allows you to see problems from multiple angles, identify root causes, and spot opportunities that are invisible to specialists. Your judgment becomes more robust, less prone to single-point failures, and more capable of handling complex, novel professional situations. Naval Ravikant speaks often about understanding first principles from various domains. Practice inversion: how to avoid professional failure. Tip: instead of just planning how to succeed in your career or business, spend significant time asking, what are the most common ways professionals fail in my field? What are the surest ways to destroy my reputation or my business? Once you list these, actively avoid them. How it helps alleviate, improve. This mental model, a Munger favorite, helps you proactively identify and mitigate risks that most people overlook. By focusing on what not to do, you drastically increase your odds of long-term success, making your professional journey more robust and less susceptible to common pitfalls. Ray Dalio's principles often emphasize identifying and avoiding common mistakes. Build your circle of competence and stay within it. Tip: clearly define what you genuinely understand and are good at in your professional domain, and be ruthlessly honest about what lies outside this circle. When faced with a decision or opportunity outside your circle, either expand your competence deliberately and slowly, or, more often, delegate, seek expert advice, or simply say no. How it helps alleviate, improve. This protects you from catastrophic professional blunders born of overconfidence in areas you don't fully grasp. It also forces you to focus your limited time and energy on areas where you can genuinely add value and achieve disproportionate results, accelerating your true professional growth and impact. It's the ultimate professional edge. Munger's unseen wisdom. Charlie Munger's game theory isn't about manipulation or backstabbing. It's about a profound, almost uncomfortable realism. It's understanding that the professional world, for all its spreadsheets and KP is fundamentally a human endeavor, governed by deeply ingrained psychological and incentive-driven forces. By internalizing these truths, by meticulously building your mental latticework, and by relentlessly applying these principles, you gain an unfair advantage. You stop being baffled by irrational decisions. You start predicting outcomes with chilling accuracy. You navigate complex professional landscapes, not as a naive participant, but as a strategic architect, seeing the hidden levers of power and influence. This profound understanding will not only protect you from the common pitfalls that destroy careers and businesses, but it will also unlock unparalleled opportunities for growth, leadership, and true professional prosperity. This is how you stop playing half the game and start winning the unseen power battles that define ultimate professional success. The choice, as always, is stark and brutally honest. Will you continue to operate with professional blind spots, hoping hard work alone will suffice? Or will you embrace Munger's uncompromising game theory, becoming a master of unseen forces and finally claim the professional advantage you deserve. If you're ready to transcend the ordinary, to master the unseen forces that dictate professional success, and to unlock the kind of clarity and power that only Charlie Munger could teach, then your journey starts now. Subscribe to the Munger Almanac. Click the subscribe button below and activate the notification bell to ensure you never miss another brutal truth, another profound insight designed to transform your professional and financial life. And in the comments below, share with us, what's the biggest unseen power battle you faced in your professional life, and how do you think understanding Munger's game theory could have changed the outcome? Your insights fuel our shared wisdom. Join the Almanac.